Hello, my name is Lisa Davis, and I'm the CEO of PearTree's Securities. PearTree is a niche financial services firm established in 2007, providing over $200 million annually in exploration and development capital alongside long-term strategic and institutional investors. We have transformed the traditional equity financing model for the junior mineral sector through a platform that enables investors within Canada and across the globe to purchase equity to finance Canadian projects at attractive discounts to market prices. So how has PearTree become the single largest source of capital for exploration financing in Canada? We've accomplished this by leveraging the Canadian flow-through share regime. In Canada, most equity for junior mining companies is raised through offerings of flow-through shares. Flow-through shares are simply common shares with tax features available only to Canadian resident share subscribers. Since exploration companies may not generate revenue for many years, the value of the tax deductions resulting from their exploration activities is very limited. The flow-through share regime permits issuers to transfer certain exploration and development expenses to subscribers of flow-through shares, allowing these subscribers to claim the deductions against their own taxable income. The value of the tax benefits associated with flow-through shares affords companies the opportunity to issue shares at a premium to their market price. This has meant that many investment opportunities in Canadian mineral projects were not accessible to non-Canadian investors, since the offering price for a flow-through share factors in tax benefits available only to Canadian subscribers. Now we come to the innovation introduced by PearTree in what has become known as charitable flow-through financings. These transactions involve three simple steps. First, Canadian subscribers purchase flow-through shares. As the original purchasers, they are entitled to the tax benefits associated with these shares. The subscribers for the flow-through shares then donate their shares to charity, and they receive a further tax credit for the value of the donated shares. And finally, the charity immediately sells the shares to a third-party investor. Since flow-through shares are simply common equity in the hands of a subsequent purchaser, the universe of investors is significantly expanded to include any global institutional and strategic investor. And because of the value of the tax benefits to a Canadian donor, the economics of the transaction can achieve the objectives of all parties with the sale of the common shares at a significant discount to their trading price. The sale to the end buyer in the transaction will settle immediately following the issuance of the shares to the initial subscriber, so that the end buyer is in the same position they would have been in by participating in the offering directly. In this actual example of a transaction we arranged in conjunction with the underwriters of an offering by Osisko Mining last year, the end buyers were able to acquire shares issued for $34.5 million to PearTree on behalf of its clients for a total purchase price of only $19.2 million. In the same transaction, Osisko received a premium of almost 50% to the previous closing price on the TSX Venture Exchange, while institutional investors acquired the shares at a 9% discount to market. This slide illustrates a financing that was part of a larger transaction and recapitalization in which Greenstone Capital invested $12.5 million into Rockcliffe Metals to fund exploration in Manitoba's Snow Lake Gold Camp. Through our platform, that $12.5 million turned into $20 million for exploration purposes. You can see from the examples I just reviewed that whether you are looking at this through the lens of an investor or an issuer, there are significant benefits. PearTree's investment platform allows issuers to command higher prices for shares issued, meaning less dilution. We subsidize the cost of investment by utilizing Canadian tax deductions and credits available to initial Canadian subscribers. And we do all this without any additional fees charged to issuers or investors. A financing structured as a flow-through share donation arrangement also signals to the ever-growing investment community incorporating ESG factors into investment decisions that the issuer is enabling greater charitable giving in local communities and beyond, as well as demonstrating responsible stewardship of investors' capital, since flow-through funds must be used on prescribed categories of exploration and development expenditures within statutory time limits. In other words, the proceeds raised in a financing go into the ground so investors can see projects progress on time and on budget. Our model has grown and evolved over the last decade or so. We are now able to use this format in many different circumstances, including often bridging the valuation gap between issuers funding Canadian projects and foreign investors. Amongst the various applications, we also have provided the financing required in an M&A transaction in which a financing condition was satisfied by the issuance of subscription receipts exchangeable for flow-through shares. We've also worked with an ASX-listed company to raise funds to finance a Canadian project. We arrange transactions both in the context of broader underwritten offerings working alongside brokers at no additional cost, and also directly with purchasers interested in making a strategic investment on better terms than would otherwise be available. We have arranged transactions in almost every province and territory in Canada. In 2020 alone, we will have completed close to 50 financings. Thank you so much for tuning into this presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you.